What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano. Today I'm going to tell you what you need to do to analyze a brand new piece of music. What is the system or the order of things that you should go through before you even start to play? So, if you are brand new to piano, you might not have a system yet as far as how you learn a new piece. And this is how this video is going to help you, because I'm going to give you that system to do it. So, when you look at a new piece of music on the sheet music, the first thing you want to look at is the rhythm, because that's where most people struggle with. If they do struggle with the piece, it's usually the rhythm piece, and there's a lot to rhythm as well. So what do I mean by that? I mean, are there quarter notes? Are there half beats, whole notes? Are there eighth notes, 16th notes? Are there triplets? Is there syncopation? All of those things are the rhythm of the piece of music that you're playing, and you want to take note of that immediately. That should be the first thing that you look at. So just go ahead, when you get that sheet music, look through the whole thing, see where the tricky spots are. If there's a triplet in there, there's an eighth note triplet or a quarter note triplet, and you're not sure what the difference is, you're not sure how to play that, go ahead and just take note of it and look at the part where maybe with their syncopation. So your right hand's playing on an off beat and your left hand plays on beat, for some examples like that, okay? Once you get the rhythm and you go through the whole rhythm and you feel okay with that, or you at least have some kind of understanding of what the rhythm looks like, then you're going to go into the melodic analysis. And what is melodic analysis? That is just looking at the melody of the piece of music and getting a good feel for what that looks and sounds like. So for this piece, for the melody, you definitely want to play through it a few times just by itself, so you get that melody in your ear. That's very important. You want to be able to just hear the melody while you're playing it, so that your brain and hand connections are both together. After you know the melody, you have it in your ear, you understand what it sounds like, then you want to go ahead and look for where the highest notes are and the lowest notes. So I would suggest you do this by the measure, by the bar. Look where the lowest note is in the measure, and then the highest note. Once you know where the lowest note and the highest note is, you know the range of notes that need to be played, again, at least for that measure. Once you know the range of notes, then you can go ahead and figure out which fingers to use. So if you have let's say you have an octave, you have a C to a C, it might not make sense to play the bottom C with your middle finger, because then you're going to have to move higher up the piece. You have to move way up. It might make more sense to play with the thumb, then you don't have as much movement to do, okay? It's a little bit more natural as well to do it that way. But fingering is very personal, so it's totally up to you about how you want to figure that out, but you definitely want to know the range of notes, again, per measure. And that way you can figure it out, work with those notes, and see what feels comfortable for you, what's best for you. And again, you can do this by measure. You can do it by phrase, so every 4 measures, if that's easier. You break it down as small as you want or as big as you want. Once you get the melodic analysis down, next piece is the harmony. So usually, especially if you're brand new, the harmony will be in your left hand. Maybe you'll be playing some kind of block chord or some kind of arpeggio in the left hand, and you'll have the melody being played in your right hand. So for the harmony, you want to look at where the chords are, what the chords are, where the chords change, and any inversions that the chords might be in. So is it all root position chords the whole way through? Does it make more sense to play some inversions? Is it block chords? So you're pressing down all 3 notes or 4 notes at the same time? Is it arpeggiated? Are you breaking up the chord? Are you playing it in single notes? For example, if you have a C major chord, C, E, G, are you playing C, E, G on beat the whole time? Are you breaking it up? Are you first playing C, E, and G, and then going back down and going back up, playing it as individual notes? All of these things you want to take note of. And of course, you want to know where the chords change, right? So that you can understand where the piece of music is going. Harmonic analysis also helps you with the feeling of the piece of music. So if it's in a minor key, for example, then you're going to have a lot of minor chords. If it's a major key, obviously you're going to have a lot of major keys. It might sound a little bit happier. But when you switch those chords, or when you're playing those chords, you want to try to convey the emotion that is within that chord and within the melody that's on top of it. So another thing for you to note is that harmony and the melody, they go hand in hand, right? So you shouldn't have a super happy feeling chord, quote unquote, and then maybe a sadder sounding melody. So once you have the rhythm down, you have the melody down, you have the harmony down, last thing you want to do is look for any dynamics and articulations. So is there an accent on a beat? Is there staccato on a beat? Is it all legato? Is it piano, pianissimo, forte? What's the dynamic of the piece? Does it change? Do you speed up at some points? Do you slow down at other points? Those are all the next things that you want to look at. Again, articulation, expression is important because even if you play the exact right notes, the exact right rhythms, if you don't have these kinds of expressions in the music, then it's not going to be very emotional. It's not going to be conveying that story. And that's the whole point of music, right? Is to convey that story, to get you feeling that kind of emotion so that the listener can hear the emotion that you're playing with. It should be telling a story. So if it's in a minor key, again, it should sound like sad. It's probably going to be a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more legato, a little bit more smooth. If you're playing some kind of classical piece, it might be upbeat, it might be a lot of staccato, short, choppy notes, and it might be louder as well. So you don't want to ignore the expression dynamics. Those are very important to help you tell the story. But once you have those pieces, so the rhythm, the melody, the harmony, and the dynamics / expression, those four things, then you have everything you need to know before you even touch the piece. You have those at least mentally noted, and you have the melody in your ear. That's going to help set you up instead of just sitting down and immediately trying to play through the whole thing all at once. Don't do that. Do this type of analysis first. At least take 5 minutes or so just to figure out what's going on in the piece. Circle things that need to be circled that you want to take note of, and then you can dive in to actually start practicing. So I hope that helps. My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano.